Hello, classmates and groupmates. My name is Shelby, and I'm here today to go over my research project concerning face negotiation theory. Now, during this presentation, I'm going to go over why I chose face negotiation theory, what is face negotiation theory, culture and conflict concerning face negotiation theory, face negotiation theory concerning culture and conflict in organizations, and face negotiation theory, which can be found elsewhere, and then I'll give a brief wrap-up of the whole presentation. So why I chose face negotiation theory. I work in a very culturally diverse organization where a lot of change is taking place in a short amount of time. And I believed that face negotiation theory would be a good theory to understand to help explain why things work out as they do in my industry, which is finance. So let's continue to who created the theory. So FMT was created by Stella Ting Toomey in 1988 because she was unhappy with a lot of the theories that were present within her time because she believed they didn't explain conflict correctly. So according to our textbook, Littlejohn, Foss, and Oetzell, face negotiation theory provides a basis for predicting how people will accomplish face work in different cultures, particularly managing conflict. So at the center of FNT, we have face, and face is the idea that I, as a communicator, put forth in conversation, whether face-to-face or mediated through, like social media or even video, that it's my self-image. Just like you, anyone else has a self-image that they portray, and we take place in face work, which is the idea that a person is protecting their face daily. And so yeah, Ting Toomey concluded that there were 5 forms of conflict styles, which are competing, avoiding, accommodating, compromising, and collaborating. And these styles derive from 3 possible situations of face threats. So if I feel threatened in some way, it would be between, it would take place in conflict. And those 3 different possible situations of face threats are competition or a desire to win, a feeling of anger or discomfort in some way, or 3 conflicting values, opinions, or attitudes. So again, face negotiation theory is the idea that I conduct my face, and if for any reason that I feel threatened, which could be in 3 different ways, the 3 different face threats, I will take part in one of the 5 different forms of conflict. Okay? So my research project was consisted of 15 different studies that I reviewed, and I'm going to go briefly over them now. So one of the largest sections of face negotiation theory that's researched pretty much daily is the idea that face negotiation theory comparing culture and conflict. So specifically how different cultures manage their conflict and the differences between those cultures and how they manage that conflict. So in 2003, Zhang, Ting Toomey, and Oetzell completed a study in which they attempted to find if there was a link to the assumptions of face negotiation theory and anger, compassion, or guilt in the US and Chinese cultures, and if those links had relationships with face construction, face concerns, and conflict styles. Okay, another research study that I reviewed was from 2015. Richard and McFadden confirmed the necessity of face work statements such as, "I hope this email finds you well," and reason statements, which is a statement that submits the cause for a following request when connecting with business contacts in China. So that study specifically was done within US and Chinese cultures, and the idea of if I send an email, if the person receiving the email interprets it a certain way, and how I could possibly negotiate my face in a more appropriate way that would be accepted more. Okay. Another research study that I reviewed was Oetzell and Ting Toomey, and this was in 2003, and the study consisted of a request to describe interpersonal conflict within relationships. So again, the idea that how different relationships can negotiate their face and the conflicts within those relationships. In a study produced in 2015, Nilip and Johnson applied FNT to a comparison of students from the United States and Ecuador and their interactions in conflict. This specifically was a significant study for this time because there was a vast majority of studies produced prior, which compared US to Asian cultures, and the study provided an answer to a call to look outside of Asian cultures being compared to United States culture. So Stimfendel in 2014 completed a study in which she sought to bring forth qualitative evidence that Greek and Roman cultures were separated by more than just land, but their communication regarding conflicts as well. However, one of her hypotheses was actually proven correct, that there was ample data that supported her third specific hypothesis, which both Roman and Greek women given more than men when managing conflict situations. And also on top of that, there was additional data that supported that younger women in these cultures reported to having higher susceptibility for concern of the other than the image of their own. In 2012, G completed 2 studies in which the theory of FNT was used to research the arrangement of self-construction, specifically of Chinese people, and if the arrangement was in connection to their confirmed conflict style. So the idea that a specific conflict style can result in certain self-construction of their face work. Child Pearson and Nagayo in 2006 added to the scope of FNT by researching the problems or conflicts that were experienced by Japanese students. So they questioned via surveys and in-depth questioning regarding Japanese students and their conflicts in their specific family units. In 2014, a part of a larger study, Fletcher, Nakazawa, Chen, Otzel, Tingtumi, Chang, and Zhang completed a study regarding romantic relationships in 5 different countries: China, Taiwan, Uganda, Ethiopia, and the United States. So on to the next area of face negotiation theory, which is comparing culture and conflict within organizations. In 2003, Hamdorf completed a study which was to test to see which face concern, self, other, or mutual, was used in the midst of a conflict, and if there was any connection to the selection of either face concern. So that was really awesome, a really cool study to review. Another study that I reviewed in 2004 with Brew and Carnes, they completed a study concerning to find if there was a difference between how Anglo-Australian and Chinese students who were employed differed in conflict styles and management using face negotiation theory. So each participant of this study was a student, and they monitored their negotiation within conflict styles and their usage of face within those conflicts. Otzel, Myers, and Laura in 2003 contributed to the scholarship of face negotiation theory with a study looking to use face negotiation theory to explain conflict styles and interpersonal interactions in multiple organizations. So they had participants of a large company, a medium company, and an even smaller company, and the idea that if the complexity of the organization changed how they communicated within conflicts. And then on to my most exciting part of my research, which was how face negotiation theory can be used elsewhere. Now, Helsler and Ellis in 2008 completed a study which used FNT for something completely out of the ordinary, which was how to understand and support mothers in their construction of a mom role. So they confirmed the usage of face work in motherhood. So the idea that if I was a mother, I would construct a certain face work for other individuals who were not in my family or even are in my family. Another theory that I studied within elsewhere of face negotiation theory was by Myers, C. Sputtek, D. Sputtek, and Laux in 2012. They completed 2 studies connecting politeness theory and face negotiation to confirm the usage of face work when college students with disability interact with other students. The conclusion of this study was based on the occurrences and lack of disability awareness. Students with disabilities feel the responsibility to utilize face negotiation and politeness among students with disabilities, which I thought was extremely interesting. One of the last studies that I reviewed was by Kirstenbaum in 2015, along with Nelson, Yen, and Brennan, Yax, and Foster. And this was the idea that they were aware of problems in operating rooms regarding not a lot of communication between surgeons, excuse me. In 2013, also, Chen used a fraction of face negotiation theory to complete a study on whether rejection, criticism, or control of face-threatening behavior would create a specific kind of reaction from participants on a fake social media site, which I found extremely interesting. So thank you so much for watching. Again, I went over why I chose face negotiation theory, the creator of face negotiation theory and its general ideas, face negotiation theory regarding conflict and culture, face negotiation theory regarding conflict culture in organizations, and face negotiation theory elsewhere. So thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a good day.